Three groups supporting terrorist organizations. President Buhari replaces Loretta Onoche, asks Senate to confirm new INEC commissioners. And UK government removes Nigeria 10 others from travel ban lists. Well, many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. The National Security Advisor, NSA Babagana Monguno, has identified 3 religious groups as organizations backing terrorism activities in Nigeria and other Sahel countries. Speaking at the 14th workshop of the League of Ulemas, Preachers and Imams of Sahel countries in Abuja, the NSA listed the groups as the JNIM, Islamic and Muslim Support Group, GSIM, and Islamic State in Greater Sahara, ISGS. He explained that terrorism and the rapid escalation of violent activities by militant Islamic groups in the Sahel since 2016 have been primarily driven by the support of these groups. He thereafter added that there is a need to reassess and reset foreign and regional government strategies towards the Sahel and set aside faulty assumptions. Still on security, the Department of State Services, DSS, has again denied allegations of ill treatment towards the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. At a press briefing in Abuja, DSS Public Relations Officer Peter Afunaya explained that accusations of maltreatment negate DSS's standard operation procedure on the implementation of rights of a suspect.
All the inciting allegations by IPOB and states that 1. Nnamdi Kanu is not in any way maltreated in custody. Accusations of maltreatment negate the service's standard operation procedure on the implementation of rights of a suspect. 2. Nnamdi Kanu enjoys full luxury in the holding facility, incomparable to any of its type anywhere in the country. He is accorded full rights and privileges. He is never denied his right of worship or freedom from his select religious practice. Adequate attention, that's number 3, adequate attention is paid to Kanu's health. He has unhindered access to the best medical care and doctors. Kanu himself has confirmed to his visitors that the service has never in any way maltreated him. He even confirmed this to the quartet of Senators Ike Ekweremadu and Engineer Baribe that he is not allowed change of clothing is also false. He is regularly allowed change of clothing as against what is presented to the public by IPOB propagandists. Assuming he is being maltreated, how come his visitors told him he was looking well? All the allegations of violation of his rights as a suspect, victimization, and starvation, among others, are not true.
Speaking further, Afunaya raised alarm over plot to recruit students into banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, and other social vices.
These individuals are susceptible to kidnapping, hijack, assassinations, armed robbery, and political manipulations. They are advised to be security conscious in order not to fall victims of these attacks and destructive political maneuvers. Let me reiterate at this juncture that those who sponsor kidnapping, banditry, terrorism, insurgency, and all kinds of attacks on security agents, civilians, and vulnerable populations should have a rethink. These persons, whether in the north or south, of course, know themselves. There is no doubt that they have crossed the lines, and it is time to crush them.
9 persons have been confirmed dead with 4 others injured after gunmen attacked Pinal village in Wase local government area of Plateau State on Sunday. Confirming the incident, the police public relations officer in Plateau, Gabriel Uba, said police operatives and other security personnel were swiftly deployed to the village in Mavu Chiefdom. He revealed that 8 suspects have been arrested in connection with the attack and 12 motorcycles were recovered from the assailants. According to Uba, an investigation is ongoing in a bid to arrest those fleeing suspects, while security has been beefed up in the area to prevent escalation of violence. Meanwhile, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Hamad Idris Wase, has condemned the attack, describing it as inhuman, senseless and unwarranted. Now moving on, President Muhammadu Buhari has written to the Senate seeking the confirmation of the nomination of some national commissioners and resident electoral commissioners to replace the outgoing ones. Senate President Hamad Lawan read the letter during Tuesday's plenary session.
Malam Mohammed Haruna, Niger State, North Central National Commissioner. Mrs. May Agbamu Chembu, Delta State, South National Commissioner. Ukiagu Kenneth Nnamdi, Abia State, Southeast National Commissioner. Major General A.B. Alkali, retired, Adamawa State, Northeast National Commissioner. Engineer Professor Rhoda H. Gumus, Bayelsa State, South National Commissioner. Mustasam Olumekun, Ondo State, Southwest National Commissioner. Olani Olale Ijalaye, Ondo State, Southwest Resident Electoral Commissioner.
President Buhari's nomination of May Agbamuche Mbu as INEC Commissioner representing Delta State effectively ends the hopes of Loretta Onoche, who he nominated for the same position. President Buhari also wrote to the Senate seeking the confirmation of a ministerial nominee, Mauzo Sambo, from Taraba State. Sambo replaces the former Minister of Power, Salim Maman, who was sacked in September, along with Sabo Nanono, ex-agriculture minister.
I have the honor to forward for confirmation by the Senate the nomination of Muazu Jaji Sambo from Taraba State as Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Copy of his CV is attached herewith. It is my hope that this submission will receive the usual expeditious consideration of the Senate. Please accept, distinguished Senate President, the assurances of my highest regards. Yours sincerely, Muhammadu Buhari.
Now to politics. Ahead of next year's Ekiti State gubernatorial election, Chairman of the Southern Senators Forum, Opeyemi Bamidele, has expressed his indifference to the method of primaries that will be adopted by the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, in selecting its flag bearer for the 2022 governorship election in the state. Senator Bamidele made this known when a group of Ekiti concerned professionals presented him a check of 22.5 million naira to support his governorship ambition in Ekiti State. The leader of the group, who spoke at the presentation ceremony, applauded Senator Bamidele and reaffirmed their belief that the senator has the experience and capacity to steer the ship of Ekiti into a brighter future from 2022.
My own aspiration in Ekiti, I have no doubt that whether it is direct primaries or it is indirect primaries, I stand a good chance by the grace of God to win the primaries. I know that I am loved by the people of Ekiti State. I know that my own aspiration goes beyond pasting posters on the wall in Ekiti because I am a poster that is already posted on the minds of the people of Ekiti State. And I'm looking forward to a very decent governorship race, a race that is popular, a race that is decent, like I said, a race that is driven by ideas and issues, you know, and a race that is violence-free.
We believe it's high time Ekiti present its best product and also put the best foot forward. We look at this gubernatorial contest that is coming. We don't want an unpopular candidate. We don't want anyone that will come and rule the state, trying or experimenting. So we want a tested hand, we want trusted hand, and we want experienced hand. That's why we all put our resources together to buy this nomination form and present it to distinguished Senator Kwame Bamidele. We told him and we said, to show you that we really want you to run. We don't want you to use your money to purchase this form.
The Vigilante Group of Nigeria, VGN, has declared their support for the Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello to contest as the next president of Nigeria come 2023. Speaking through its Commander General Usman Mohammed, during a courtesy visit to Governor Bello, the group maintained that the governor's contributions to the VGN in Kogi State was highly commendable, adding that with him at the helm of affairs in the country, similar gesture would be extended to the VGN national body in a bid to further enhance their capacity for efficiency.
And with the issue of insecurity and banditry, if this organization is put into the right space, we'll be able to do a lot of this. How many put together, the army, the police, the DSS, and all other people, put them together, they're up to 1 million. We are ready, and we are ready to sacrifice ourselves and our life as we are doing, to make sure that there is peace in this country. And we believe very well that as a commander, you know what security is all about. As at today, in our database, we have more than 5 million registered members. And Your Excellency, we love you, we like you, we vote for you, we fight for you. They say direct primary or indirect primary, whether direct or indirect, we are with you.
Governor Bello, in his response, appreciated the group for recognizing his efforts and the modest achievements of the state in security and across all sectors. Thereafter assured that the group that it would not disappoint them and other Nigerians were calling on him to run for the 2023 presidency.
The responsibility of fixing this country is not only lying on Mr. President's shoulders alone. Starting from Mr. President, to we, the governors, to the local government chairman, to community leaders, to religious leaders, to traditional leaders, even unto you two as the CG Vigilante Group of Nigeria. The responsibility is on all of us to ensure that we live in peace and harmony. It is not within the purview of Mr. President that when there is communal clash, Mr. President should leave the villa to go and settle that communal clash.
Well, let's now head back to the story where the National Security Advisor, the NSA, Babagana Monguno, identified 3 religious leaders, groups rather, were sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria and the Sahel region. Many thanks, Kabiru Adamu, who is a security expert, for joining us on News Now. Now, this revelation is quite startling for some people, but could you tell us, what do you make of this revelation, especially as Nigeria, as in recent years, having calling for the Nigerian government to reveal some of the sponsors of this terrorist group?
Good evening. So it shouldn't be startling, frankly, especially for us that are covering developments in the Sahel region. In particular, the ISGS, which is a group that has morphed from previous coalitions of terrorist groups, as it were, is not a new thing. The affiliation between the 2 major terror groups in Nigeria, that is the Jamaat al-Ahl Sunnah al-Dawati wal Jihad and the Islamic State in West Africa province, with groups that are operating in the Sahel region, is not new. Frankly, as far as I'm concerned, I don't see anything sensational about this revelation. What I wanted to hear is, first and foremost, the answer to the various imperatives. In other words, the who. By who, I mean the individuals that are ferrying the money from, or whatever it is, funds from the Sahel into Nigeria. The what, how, what is it? Is it money? Is it any further types of support? And then the how. Are they doing it physically or are they doing it through other means? And then the where and the when. Now, these 5 imperatives is what makes intelligence. Now, just mentioning names that, frankly, we know already exist. I'm talking as far back as 1999. We have already known that there is this relationship between terror groups in Nigeria and these groups in the Sahel region. For me, doesn't answer the question. Then, second part is, we would have loved to know the local funders of terrorism, not these international ones. Who are those that are funding these terrorist groups that are based in Nigeria and that Nigeria can easily arrest and prosecute? These international ones would be very difficult, really, for Nigeria on its own to arrest and prosecute. So naming them, frankly, does not really serve any purpose as far as I'm concerned at this moment in time.
So let's talk about persecution now and proscription of this group. But you also mentioned a very, very critical point, which is the federal government identifying and mentioning the names of local sponsors of terrorism. Do you see that happening anytime soon?
Well, we need to keep the pressure. The media, what you're doing is really good. We need to keep that pressure. Then the civil society organizations, we need to keep that pressure. I cannot speak on behalf of government, but when we sustain the pressure, then definitely. And, you know, it's not just an issue of the executive arm of government. The judiciary too has that responsibility. Prosecution is usually by the judiciary. So we hope that they would listen to the yearnings of Nigerians and release those names. And, you know, one of the things I worry is if they don't make these names public, association with them, it will become an offense. And then they can retroactively arrest you and prosecute you for association with them. So they have a responsibility to make these names public so that Nigerians know who they are and to avoid them. I say this with all sense of responsibility. In other parts of the world, we'll see where innocently you are donating money to certain groups. You don't know that those groups are affiliated with terrorist groups. So there is the responsibility really for them to name these groups so that Nigerians know them and avoid them. And where they can help them with information to lead to their arrest and prosecution, Nigerians will be happy to do that. That I'm sure.
Did security expert Kabir Adam, I'm sorry it's this much you can take on the topic, but many thanks and thank you so much for your contributions on News Now. Well, we'll take a break here, but still to come, Uganda opposition leader Bobby Wine under house arrest. What details of this story and more right after this break.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the president of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world. A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Well, yeah, here's a reminder of some of our top stories tonight. The National Security Advisor, NSA Babagana Monguno, has identified 3 religious groups as organizations backing terrorism activities in Nigeria and other Sahel countries. He explained that terrorism and the rapid escalation of violent activities by militant Islamist groups in the Sahel since 2016 have been primarily driven by the support of these groups. He thereafter added that there is a need to reassess and reset foreign and regional government strategies towards the Sahel and set aside faulty assumptions. We also told you that President Muhammadu Buhari has written to the Senate seeking the confirmation of the nomination of some national commissioners and resident electoral commissioners to replace the outgoing ones. President Buhari's nomination of May Agbamuche Mbo as INEC commissioner representing Delta State effectively ends the hopes of Loretta Onyoche, who he nominated for the same position. But in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube and Google+ at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. Well, the UK government has removed Nigeria and 10 other countries from its red list. UK Secretary of State for Health and Social Care, Sajid Javid, announced this on Tuesday while addressing members of Parliament. According to him, the red list is now less effective in slowing the incursion of Omicron from abroad. The 10 other countries initially placed on the list include Angola, Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa, Zambia and Zimbabwe. The red list was reintroduced in late November as a precaution after the emergence of the new Omicron variant of the COVID-19. Following federal government's confirmation that up to 1 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine has expired, the Executive Director of National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Faisal Shuaib, said the expired vaccines, which had already been withdrawn, would be destroyed publicly by the National Agency for Food, Drugs and Administration Control, NAFDAC. The Executive Director of the MPHCDA disclosed this on Monday in Abuja at the emergency media briefing by PSC on COVID-19. For details in this next report. Reports that Nigeria has in its possession about 1 million expired doses of the COVID-19 vaccines made the news headlines last week, sparking reactions from medical experts and stakeholders alike. But at this press briefing organized by the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19, the Executive Director of National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Faisal Shuaib, has assured that the country will no longer accept vaccines with short shelf life.
Nigeria will no longer accept vaccines with short shelf life, as they not only exert undue pressure on both the health system, but also on the people. Due to vaccine scarcity in the past, we had previously been accepting vaccines with short shelf lives from international donors in order for us to quickly use and provide some level of protection against the disease.
Global enforcement of the COVID-19 vaccinations for travel has triggered the production of fake vaccination cards. The MPHCDA, however, says the perpetrators will no longer get away with this act.
We are aware that fake PCR tests and vaccination cards are now a global phenomenon. We have therefore strengthened the card validation process on our EMIT platform to further guard against vaccination card forgery.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, has clarified that it would not reciprocate the flight ban leveled on the country by Argentina, Canada and Saudi Arabia over the detection of the Omicron coronavirus variant.
The PSC is working with mandate ministries to address the issues surrounding the restriction imposed by some countries on travelers from Nigeria on account of the Omicron variant. While each country is entitled to put in place measures to protect its citizens, Nigeria has similar responsibilities as well. However, based on existing relationships, Nigeria has initiated diplomatic steps to make these countries reverse their course. This is ongoing in the interest of all parties concerned, and we expect that positive results would emerge within the next 1 week.
Efforts by the government to remove Nigeria from the UK's red list seems to have yielded results, as the UK government recently announced the removal of Nigeria and 10 other countries from its red list. But despite this win, Nigeria still sits on the travel ban of 3 countries. Folashade Ogurinde, TV360 News. We'll take a short break here and return with more stories and business. To stay with us. Welcome back. Well, up next is Business News with Simisola Adigo. Over to you, Simi.
Thank you very much, Folashade. Welcome to Business News. Steps to implement the 5th generation network, popularly called 5G, in Nigeria is gradually becoming a reality. This comes as MTN and Mafab Communications Limited won the bid for the spectrum auction by the Nigerian government on Monday. MTN Nigeria, Mafab Communications Limited and Airtel Networks Limited had participated in the bid using the ascending clock auction system. Meanwhile, Minister of Communications and Digital Economy Issa Pantami says the deployment of the 5G network will help to address Nigeria's security challenges without any side effects. Reacting to this development, ICT expert Olushola Teniola, in an exclusive interview with TV360 Nigeria, explained that the 5G network will enhance fast and reliable internet across the country, just like the developed countries.
So 5G gives an opportunity to have 10 to 100 times the speed of 4G. It doesn't mean to say that 4G is slow. It's just that it gives an opportunity to have even higher speeds. So it complements other technologies that are out there. It provided what I called the fact that you can have many devices connected in a meaningful manner, and they can interoperate in a manner that allows billions of devices to communicate. That would have overwhelmed the 4G technology platform. And that's a great plus in terms of machine-to-machine communication. Secondly, it allows for very, very low latency. And what does that effectively mean? It means when you send information, it will arrive in less than, in the case of 5G, 5 milliseconds or even 1 millisecond. That's almost the response of a human being.
We'll take a short break here and be back with a review of the stock market. The Nigerian Exchange Group reversed gains it recorded for 2 straight sessions today at the close of trading. Specifically, the all-share index declined by 0.22% to close at 42,317 basis points. After the day's trade, the market shed a total of 49 billion naira, marking market capitalization close at 22,081 trillion naira. 97 equities participated in trading, ending with 13 gainers and 18 losers today. Leading the stocks that set the market on a downward trend, we have UPDC Real Estate Investment Trust, followed by J. Paul Gold, leading our losers counter today, and they had a combined 32 kobo loss. On the flip side, financial services giants Custodian and Royal X led 11 others on that counter. They had a combined 75 kobo gains, but despite that, they could not manage to keep positive sentiment from the previous session. On our market summary, sees a total volume of 270 million units of shares valued at over 2 billion naira exchange hands in 3,753 deals. To the global stocks now, London stocks FTSE clung to gains on Tuesday while Wall Street looked set to fall as investors nervously eyed the spread of the Omicron variant of the coronavirus and sat on the sidelines before numerous central bank decisions due this week. The Dow Jones reversed higher on Tuesday after hot inflation data ahead of the start of the Federal Reserve's 2-day meeting. Investors are being skeptical, waiting the outcome of the meeting. Meanwhile, Japan stocks Nikkei went lower after the close on Tuesday as losses in the paper and pulp, railway and bus and real estate sectors led shares lower to 0.73%. And that's all on the stock market reviews. Back to Folashade for the rest of the news.
Well, many thanks to Misola for that update. Now on the foreign scene, Uganda's opposition leader Robert Kyagulanyi, popularly known as Bobby Wine, has revealed that police have surrounded his residence and put him under house arrest ahead of a planned campaign rally for a local by-election. President Yoweri Museveni is also expected to visit Uganda to campaign for the ruling party's candidate for the district chairperson position. The by-election is scheduled for Thursday, and both the ruling and opposition parties want to show their might. Also in March, Wine was arrested for leading a protest in Kampala demanding the release of his supporters. Well, up next is entertainment reports.
US-based actor and filmmaker Nnamdi Kanaga has debuted the official trailer for his latest project, a short film titled Akuna, starring Nollywood veteran Stella Damasos in the lead role. Tolika Davis directed short film centers on Ebere, a Nigerian immigrant who turns to a prostitute following a tragic experience. Production for Akuna wrapped up in September, with Damasos describing her role one of the most challenging roles she has had to play in recent times. The Lakbo Adeleke's Netflix feature film Just in Time has snagged multiple award wins from Kenya Film Commission's Kashala 2021 Awards. Nominated in 4 major categories: Best Feature, Best Lead Actor, Best Lead Actress, and Best Director. Directed by the Plan B director, the romantic comedy follows the story of a meticulous clerk of a bookstore who suddenly finds herself taking care of her cousin's witty 11-year-old daughter. Just in Time was licensed by Netflix to premiere on the streamer in 2021. Nearly 2 years after its principal photography in Nairobi. And that is all that we have for you on the entertainment segment of News Now.
The Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, has appointed Austin Eguavoin, currently the technical director, as a technical advisor of the Super Eagles on an interim basis. This is with immediate effect and follows the termination of contract of Franco-German coach Gernot Rohr, who has been in charge of the 3-time African champions for the past 64 months. Our correspondent, Mary Kanu, tells us more in this report.
Once we have national matches like a standard operating procedure. First, the NFF will receive a technical report that analyzes the game. And based on that, it will be subject to review and scrutiny, benchmarked, and thereafter they take a decision.
Less than a month after debunking rumors of a sack of Gernot Rohr as the head coach of the Super Eagles, the contract of the 68-year-old who led the team as coach in 54 games has been terminated. Rohr's stay on the job became a thing of speculation following the Super Eagles' poor performance against Cape Verde in the final game of the Group C World Cup qualifier. Following a virtual meeting of the NFF Executive Committee on Monday, it was decided that Eguavoin, alongside a caliber of past players and technical crew, would provide support for the team. Reacting to the news of the termination of Rohr's contract, supporters of the Super Eagles say the NFF's decision may have jeopardized the performance of the team in the AFCON Games.
Based on performance, where the Super Eagles were and where they are today, I think he has done a great job of, let me say, 70% performance.
Gernot is not a coach that can even be among the coaching staff of Nigeria Super Eagles. Nigeria Super Eagles' profile is even much more better than his own personal profile. So for him to coach a team like Super Eagles is, let me say, it really ridiculed the Super Eagles' status as a whole.
Why do you have to take a decision to be sacking a coach when we are very close to the finals of the AFCON 2022? I do not see it as the right decision.
Despite Nigeria's qualification for the World Cup playoffs next year, the Eagles struggled with only one win in their 3 home matches. With the appointment of Eguavon as interim manager, sports analysts have expressed mixed reactions while advising Eguavon to change the team's playing tactics.
We are in a situation where we don't have any choice because we needed somebody to quickly just, take over the team. Did his own bit, maybe not as good as we would expect him to do. And don't forget that over the years, he's also been able to, get some experience outside the country. And of course, we need to also put that into point of view.
I hope Eguavon, who has been technical director of Nigerian Football Federation, has his own plans. If he follows Ghana Roy's style, then Nigerians will be mourn again.
This time, with 4 weeks in the Nations Cup, I've advocated to that, probably a Nigerian to step in as an interim manager. He knows the terrain, he knows the players, and he can how do I put it? He can evolve or merge into the situation easily.
The Super Eagles are set to feature in the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon, scheduled from January 9th to February 6th, 2022, with the World Cup qualifying playoffs slated for March 2022. Mary Kanu, TV360, Nigeria.
And that's it in our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Bye for now.